Oh, I wanted to add to this video since I got through with my last client early. I want to go ahead and add to this video here. And so Chris hasn't been had a chance to get it up for you yet. One guy asked me here about that we haven't covered gout. And so I know I have covered gout. I know I've written it here. Here's one of them here. This is Bunt Bright. I've been just diagnosed with gout, Perrines, and was told I can no longer eat asparagus, broccoli, spinach, mushrooms, green peas, lentils, beans, onions, cabbage, melons, and apples. Oh, yeah, I had to be a medical doctor to tell you that one. Do you believe this is true? Well, gout is actually uric acid, and uric acid comes from basically two sources, proteins and fungus. I didn't understand the fungus part to a medical doctor who was a female who became a naturopath. And I went to, she had a blood chemistry seminar that she put on for physicians. And she had a unique way of analyzing blood chemistry to look into the body and see different things. That's been so many years ago, I can't even remember what her thought was on that. But one of the questions I remember asking her is, I was the only naturopath in the group, everyone else was medical doctors, and I told her I detoxify a lot of people, but what I noticed is a lot of people come to me with gout that is vegetarian. She said fungus. And so it makes total sense. And as I look at that, and I see like RA, and I see a lot of these arthritises and fibromyalgias, and you see the sulfur. Remember, I've talked about sulfur in the body being a fungal proliferant. And this is what you see. You see a lot of people with high fungal problems have high uric acid levels. So your gout, I had a guy fly in here. I can't remember where he flew in here from, but he'd been the world over. Very wealthy man, flew in the world over. Major gout, major pain. I had him out of pain in just a couple of months, and he'd been everywhere. He spent tons and tons of money. Moving that lymph is key to getting rid of gout, no question. This isn't a blood problem. This is a lymphatic problem. This is holding gout in tissue, like any other acid in tissue, except gouty acid. Uric acid is a little more of a pinprick. My guess, the pH of uric acid, which I don't know what it is, but it's probably around 2.25 or something, a little bit below 3, my guess. But still, just detoxification. Move that lymph. Yeah, use Parasite M to get a hold of the fungus in you, but move that lymph if you want to get rid of uric acid or gout. That's all you have to do. You don't have to eliminate these foods either. I will say, though, I'm not really hot on the lentils. I'm not hot on the cruciferouses here, just because they're sulfur veggies. And cruciferouses tend to have a lot of sulfur. They're gaseous sulfur. Nothing healthy about sulfur, in my opinion, whatsoever. I don't want to give up my fruits and veggies. Well, do not give up your fruits and veggies, my dear one. Just get rid of the gout, which is uric acid, and just clean the body out. Always have to stick a name to something. But uric acid, just get rid of that. This was an interesting question. I had to actually look this one up because I'd never heard of this one. And this is pancreatic divisium, or division, where the two ducts that are supposed to become the main common bile duct doesn't fuse together. Interesting, in the embryonic stages. And so what they're saying here is that tends to have episodes of pancreatitis. Most people don't experience any problems. Well, I'll say this. If you have a situation like that, my guess is, again, going back to moving lymph and keeping the lymph system moving, even in the GI tract, would be very paramount to keeping pancreatitis out. Since pancreatitis really is a lymphatic problem, this goes back to that sort of thinking. And those that probably are having the pancreatitis from this probably do have the backed up interstitial lymphatic constipation. So in either way, when you're compromised that way, I would definitely stay on a high fruit and veggie diet, but particularly high fruits, berries, and melons. Clean up your lymph system, clean up the GI tract, get your kidneys and adrenals on, and always move lymph. Keeping a diet like that will keep all these symptoms down, and everybody's moving well. Enzymes pass freely through that. Everything's good, and you're good. The only other way would be, the backing up of these, and being on a diet like that and keeping the lymph moving, you're going to be in good shape. And that, I think, in any case that you see like that you've never heard of, and you're seeing symptoms like that, it just makes sense what symptom you're having symptoms when you're talking about pancreatitis or whatever. You'll know the system that's involved, you know the fluid that's involved, you know the cytochemistry that's involved, and what you have to do. And I think you'll find that in 99% of all cases, the deduction will end up coming down to the lymph, the kidneys, the adrenals, and cleaning up the gut. You'll come to those Fab Fours, you know, where you'll see those issues there. Let me see here. Here's another one. The same one. I guess I don't know how to ask for help. No, I've addressed gout before. It's just sorry that it's probably been something that been lost in there somewhere or something. But I have addressed gout before. But again, that's what you want to do is do detoxification. Now, when you're in gouty pain like that, you might want to stay away from the nightshades for sure. That's going to be your tomatoes, your eggplants, and things like that. Your peppers. If you're going to do peppers, go to the red ones and yellow ones or orange ones. Don't get to the green ones. You probably want to stay away from the citrus or the acid fruits. Stay away from those, get into the subacids, get into the grapes, get into the apples and the cherries and things like that, and really start moving that way. And I think that'll help the pain that you're having from that gout. Gout is a real pinprick painy thing, I'll tell you. But moving lymph is really, really key to that. Also, having some foot reflexology, moving these acids out of these nerve endings might be helpful if you're having it in the toes or in the feet there. But again, getting the kidneys and the lymph moving is key to eliminating gout or any other acidosis, any other acid out of the human body. It doesn't matter. They're all corrosive. They all hurt. They all have not a real happy ending. Even your acids of estrogen and testosterone can burn you. Oh, thanks, DTH 3545. Thanks a lot. I'm trying to disperse or put spirituality within the health issue here, because sometimes, there's just not a lot to say about things. And sometimes I find that way spiritually. Caught me 30, 40 years ago, I'd have talked your ear off when it comes to spirituality. Even nowadays, I'd prefer just to be it, just to channel it, if I could use that word. But so I'm hoping that by intermingling these higher aspects of life, that'll help us all. And of course, you all help me too. So we all get in our ruts and stuff. So really appreciate all your feedbacks and stuff. I really do. I appreciate all of you. And again, we're all just working through this because there's so many things I don't understand yet. There's just so many levels to this that you just can't see unless you get out of the body more. And when I'm always working with out-of-body issues, I'm never around this world that I'm aware of. So I'm just not an area of concern. But I think that when you look at health simplistically, you're empowered, you can take it off, and you can get it. When you start getting too intellectual and you start trying to understand it in terms of chemistry and physics, once you leave the simplistic side of chemistry and physics, it can get as deep as you want. And then you start getting into theories and disagreements. So it's better just to look into the world of creation, the world of the largest laboratory we have, which is planet Earth. It's like I've said, it's maintaining so many different life forms that's where the action is, and that's where our answers are. So it's sad that we even have to ask these questions. It's sad that we've lost our intuitiveness and what the body really needs and likes and what we're propelled to. Right now we have perverted tastes, and we're pervertedly propelled to foods that are not good for us. Oh, this is Far Above Rubies. I love that name. I just love Far Above Rubies. What a doll. Hello, Dr. Morse. My heart is set on receiving detoxification training from, great, on the Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine in Arizona to become a naturopathic doctor. But which naturopathic medical school? See, now this is the sad thing about that. Naturopathic medical school shouldn't be one in the United States. Would you suggest that I attend? Really, I would love to see Bastyr and Southwest change their curriculum and become truly more naturopathic and less naturopathic medicine. But until then, you're spending, almost 5 years and coming out and can't heal anything. It's not enough to go 5 years to school and make people feel a little better and then put them all on supplements. That's not good enough. it is good enough to go through. That's why I tell people in 1 week I can teach you how to cure anything. 1 week. So when you talk about 5 years of wasting your time, I don't think any school should be over 2 years for healing, because what are you going to learn in all that time? You can really, in today's world, we should be able to trim all the fat off of all this and get right to the point where kids and people don't have to spend a lifetime in school, years in school, and come out and still can't heal people. That's ridiculous. I feel sorry for medical doctors spending all that money and going through that, and a lot of them go through enthusiasm to help mankind and everything, and then what they become is pharmaceutical pushers. I just think that's an insult to the medical doctor themselves. And then the way and I'm glad to hear a lot of medical doctors are getting away from the American Medical Association. I think they ought to start their own associations where they don't have the powerful influence of the Rockefellers and those people, where we become united as one instead of separate and more narcissistic. So I really think this is the time in our society where we need to put all our heads together and say what works, what doesn't work, throw out what doesn't work, keep what works. But I need all of you guys to prove it to the world, and you certainly are doing that. I am so proud of all of you guys, I can't even tell you. Some of you guys have gotten miraculous healings already, and it's just what you've been working for it. You are getting exactly what you're putting effort into. You're getting back what you're putting into it. So I'm real proud of that. I'm real proud to see you do that. This is Mike J. Pete. Dr. Morse, hey to you, my friend. What are the best methods of decalcifying the pineal gland? The only way to really decalcify is going with this, understanding that anionic movement, but I tell you, that's where you bring in base chemistry. And in that process of bringing in base chemistry, you'll create new ionizations, you'll create new avenues to where we start creating, moving an anionic environment into a cationic environment. And that's just going to be how you break down calcifications anywhere in the body, is moving more base chemistry through the body. And then you start breaking apart some of these bonds. And the body will do that, especially externally. And then you'll pull this back into the matrix of the connective tissue, perhaps of the pineal gland, or be carried away and eliminated, or used somewhere else. So definitely you want to get that, detox that lymph system and get that acidosis out of there, because that's where you get calcifications. Calcification doesn't occur in the blood like that. It occurs in the lymph system. And it occurs in the vascular walls. It occurs in all these places. But you might try upper circulation to move more base chemistry into those areas. Upper circ could be a good help to that. At the same time, start cleaning up the gut, cleaning everything we've been talking about. Get the sinuses drained, get everything clean, get the kidneys filtering, get the adrenals up, get all these things happening, and that calcification will slowly break down, and you'll start getting more softer tissue, and then you'll start getting more performance out of the pineal gland. You start to see both the calcifications and the cholesterol just everywhere, and even in the youth. And this is a sad thing, but remember, this is the body's natural move, or the natural ionic move from base to acids, and that whole process of what happens, however level you wish to look at it. Also, what is your view on the best methods of naturally reintegrating the wow.